Going to bring you the latest on the future of Kylian Mbappe after some extraordinary developments last night at PSG, which our chief reporter Kaveh Solhekol was following, and so excited has he been that he's arrived in the studio to talk us through what's happened.
Yes, incredible developments last night. Basically what's happened is PSG are flying off to their pre-season tour today to Japan and South Korea. Late last night, PSG announced that Kylian Mbappe, the best player in the world, would not be going with them. And the whole issue is a contract dispute. Kylian Mbappe has a year left on his contract. PSG were expecting him to extend that contract by at least a year. He told them last month, I'm not doing that. I'm going to stay at PSG until next summer, and then I'll be a free agent, and then I'll be leaving. PSG said to him, you've got until July the 15th, the last Saturday, to clarify your intentions. Tell us what you want to do clearly. They didn't hear from him, and therefore they've decided that they're going to make their plans for the future without Kylian Mbappe. And they've put him on the market straight away. Immediately he's up for sale, and they don't care where he goes. They're saying we've already got a few interested parties who've been in touch, who'd said keep us updated on developments. That's exactly what we'll be doing. And also PSG feel that this is all about money because they've already invested about £500 million in Kylian Mbappe when you factor in what they paid to get him from Monaco and also the wages and all the bonuses they've paid him. And going forward, if he stays at PSG for one more year, he will earn more than £100 million in wages and bonuses. And then next summer, when he moves to Real Madrid on a free transfer, Real Madrid will give him £160 million signing on fee. So as long as he stays where he is, he stands to make £260 million and massive wages when he moves to Real Madrid. And PSG is saying, we are not going to let that happen. What we want to do is sell you now, because if we sell you now, we'll get a transfer fee, maybe 100, 150 million pounds, and we'll also save having to pay you another 100 million pounds over the next 12 months. So ultimately, it's about power, it's about egos, but really it's about a massive pot of money, which is about 260 million pounds.
So what does he do now?
Well, his immediate reaction is no problem. I saw this coming. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit on the bench for next season. If you want to freeze me out, if you want to freeze out the best player in the world, fine. I'll sacrifice the season, even though I'm the captain of France, even though there's the Euros next summer, even though there's the Olympics in Paris next year, and I'm one of the faces of the Olympics. I'm ready to dig in my heels, and I'm ready to call your bluff and see who blinks first. Are you really going to just keep me on the bench and keep paying me £2 million a week? If that's what you want to do, fine. I think he feels that PSG can talk tough and act tough, but ultimately, legally, he's in the right because he's got another year left on his contract. And if he doesn't want to be sold, he won't be sold and he'll stay in Paris.
But PSG are absolutely steaming, aren't they?
I mean, the way PSG feel about what he's done, I can't really repeat on national TV. Yeah, I can't repeat the words that are being used. In private, they're absolutely scathing. They feel like this is the ultimate betrayal. They feel like he's sabotaging the club. Potentially he's killing the club. They feel that it's all about money. They feel that he's not a man of his word anymore because he's gone on the record in interviews as saying, I will never leave PSG for nothing. And just a few days ago, Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the president of PSG, gave a speech to the whole squad. And he basically said to them, look, if there's anyone here in this room who thinks that they're doing PSG a favour by being here, get out now, because we don't want you here. And that's basically PSG's attitude now. The gloves are off. It's time to, act tough. They've been messed around by superstar players in the past. They're not going to let it happen again. They want him out ASAP. You
said there were a number of interested parties who said keep us updated. Is there any chance that Mbappe goes to anyone other than Real Madrid?
If it was left to PSG, yes. They don't care where he goes.
But he's got to agree to it.
Yeah, he's got to agree to it, but from PSG's point of view, there's no emotions in this anymore. It's just business. It's just transactional. If you're a club in the Premier League who wants him and can afford his wages and the transfer fee, pick up the phone, call PSG now. Clubs in Saudi Arabia, we know what they've been up to over the past couple of months. They're welcome to have him. PSG have no problem with doing business with a Saudi club. Real Madrid, of course, relations between the two clubs are not great, but PSG have no issue with selling him now as quickly as possible. But you mentioned there, legally, Mbappe's in a strong position because he can dig his heels in and stay where he is. But the one thing I would say to you is, what is the fans' reaction going to be? Because we know what PSG fans are like. What's the reaction in France going to be at, one of the most famous people in France, the best footballer in the world? Last time he tried to leave PSG to go to Real Madrid, the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, got involved as well. So I'm thinking, is he going to get involved this time round and try and mediate between Kylian Mbappe and Nasser Al-Khelaifi, between the player and the club? Because at the moment, neither side is willing to back down.
And is there much evidence that Mbappe cares very much about what anybody else thinks, including the president?
Well, look, in the past, he's been persuaded to change his mind. A lot of that has had to do with money as well as the pressure that's been put on him. The one thing I would say is we haven't totally heard his side of the story yet. We don't want to be too scathing about him. Let's wait and see what he says, because he's had very little to say so far. What we do know about his intentions are what we're being told, but we haven't heard directly from him. And as I said, when he signed that contract, PSG knew that it was a 2-year contract with the option for him to sign on for an extra year. So he will just say, look, I'm not doing anything wrong. I signed the contract, you signed the contract. It's business. Sorry, but that's just the way things are going to be. But as I said, let's wait and see what he's got to say, and let's wait and see what the reaction of the PSG supporters is going to be.